You're watching the interview for the logistics manager. And this is incredibly hypothetical. I'm just kind of improvising here. I've put a lot of thought into this, but this is the first time that I'm trying to make a video explaining it. Where this is one of the most stressful positions in the place. You have to know what everybody else's role is and make sure that they do it. In the handbook, I have a whole cast of characters. Everybody who works here and what everybody is supposed to be doing. On an average day, you have to look around and just make sure that the cycle is working. We bring in some trash. You send somebody out to get the trash. The salespeople have already set up contracts for trash pickup. You got to make sure that those contracts are fulfilled by the driver. And the truck is good, and they come back with the truck. So then we got to empty the truck. The supply manager is supposed to take care of having a team of people sorting through all that and cleaning it and color coding it and sorting it away in the way that they do it. You got to make sure that they are doing it. But generally, they do not have any oversight. The supply manager is he has that area. So you shouldn't have to worry about that aspect of things. Very rarely. There's a team of artists and engineers who are using that trash to make stuff. They generally work independently. And although you can tell them what to do, you don't really need to. Sometimes they're going to ask you questions. Sometimes they're going to need your help. Try to serve them. When they make stuff and it's ready to go, you got to help connect them to the sales and marketing so they can catalog the product, they can tokenize it, sell it in the way that they do. They have a system going. You just have to make sure that they do it. So as a logistics manager, you look at the way this entire place is running and you just make sure that everything goes according to plan. Everybody has a book. Everybody has the manual and they know what their role is and they know what they're supposed to be doing. Ideally, you shouldn't have to do anything. Ideally, we could replace your job with an app. Everybody just has an app that just tells them they're supposed to be doing whatever. But we're not doing that. We have a human who looks around and does things that an app just cannot do. And you just walk, you look around. Sometimes you're going to have to make tough decisions. Sometimes you're going to have to listen to people. They're going to tell you that they need an extra person, and then you got to make sure that that person gets hired. You're going to have to walk around with me for a day or two, and I'll show you the way that I've had it together, and you don't have to do it that way. I'm just a janitor. I'm looking to get out of the logistics manager role and just be a janitor and have someone else take care of gluing everything together while I can just take care of some trash. The sales and marketing department is also trying to sell the people. We're trying to get people placement in better jobs. So from time to time, they might ask you to ask someone to sit down with them, do some resume stuff. We got everything on camera, so if anybody does anything special or out of the ordinary or noteworthy, the viewers might like this person more than someone else. We can use that as leverage when we're looking to try to get somebody hired. Ideally, we can make somebody famous and they can make millions of dollars beyond what the wage was. But generally, we're trying to get people to get paid double what we've been doing for them. So we try to hire anybody regardless of what their skills are. So I'm looking for a manager, but I don't need somebody who already was a manager or necessarily went to college for management. We're looking for a logistics manager. I'm looking for somebody who can just look at a system and make it work efficiently. Like I said, if everything in ideal circumstances, you don't have to do anything. In ideal circumstances. But I'm going to show you what an average day looks like. There's just a few trash pickup contracts in place, not many. There's an average of one a day. At this current point, we can support only 10 clients. We have 10 customers on a monthly contract. We pick up stuff weekly. Sometimes it's 2 a day, it's usually 1 a day. And it's just a few bags. So they come back with them. They unload the truck. People sort through it and clean it. Put it in these bins. The artists and engineers come in. They're looking at the materials. They have projects they're working on, sourcing from those materials, using tools that we provide. Sometimes they'll ask you about the tools and they need you to go through accounting and make sure you get the money to help them get the tools and make all that happen somehow. I'll show you the way that I've been doing it, but you're gonna have to ask me for a few things in the beginning, but once you get the hang of the way the whole system works, you're gonna be able to do all of this. And it's all in the manual. Everybody knows what the role is. You just tie it all together. So it's complicated and stressful because there's a lot going on. And you have to be able to think of the bigger picture while little things are happening. You have to respond to these little things that who knows people are going to be bringing up, or who knows what kind of situations you're going to get in. But you got to keep cool and think about the bigger picture while taking care of all these little issues. Avoid the urge to micromanage anyone. But if someone is going off script too much, if AV or security or somebody has opinions about somebody, you'll be in the know. There's departments that aren't, okay, so security and AV and IT and the Philosophy Factory and myself and the marketing department can report to you and give you information that can change everything. And you have to be ready for that. It's kind of like you're the boss of these people running the thing. But we have all this background stuff going on. And they're kind of your boss. The cinematographer might say, hey, on Thursday, we're doing this thing where we need you to wear black. And I know that sounds unrelated to like what you should be concerned with, but that's what the cinematographer is concerned with. And I know that sounds silly, but things like that are going to come up. The Philosophy Factory is going to possibly say, hey, I think from now on, we should really lean into the direction of yada yada. And I don't know if that would affect the way you do your day-to-day, but what if it does? What if you have to deliver information from these people to the artists and engineers saying like, hey, October we're going to have a Halloween theme, so make some Halloween stuff. I don't know what's going to come up. But on an average day, the artists and the engineers make stuff. And if they complete any project, I told them smaller is better. So hopefully they make something really small. And you can take that to sales. and the sales and marketing will catalog it and try to sell it and stuff. And the artist that made it, the AV staff and the IT staff is doing their thing too. I gotta tell you, the IT staff is taking care of this cryptocurrency thing where everybody's wearing these Fitbit-like devices that mine proof of work based on their movements. They get to own half of it, and half of it is for sale on the show. So they have some incentive going on. And I suppose you could wear one of these too. You don't have to, but I think it would be a really good deal because if the people watching the show like you, think of it like a stock. Think of it like owning equity in your movements. It's only while you're here. And the fake name thing, yes, you have to come up with a fake name because you're going to be on camera and everything that you do here, you can never tell anybody your real name or your address or your phone number or any personal information. You're kind of like a character on a show, basically. And so your fake name is just the name that you're using here. And if you ever go and let's say the people like you and you appear in TV and movies, if you use the fake name, the persona that you were here, then we have these licensing deals in place using the trademarks, kind of like the way pro wrestling does it. But if you use your real name, that's different. You can do whatever you want, obviously. But we want to use the show to make you famous. We're trying to make everybody famous and try to get them better jobs. But after you successfully tie everything together and have this place running really well, and we have footage of that, then we can use it to spin to someone else to say, like, hey, we have a logistics manager here who is just, really keeping this place really good. We have proof. And we're going to try to get you a job that pays double. So that's the goal. How much you're making now and what you do at the place, that's just going to be for a few months or maybe a year. But we're going to try to get you a job that does this, but maybe harder for double. Everyone who works here basically is trying to be sold by the sales department. We have this staffing agency model integrated with the whole thing where we're trying to get any possible person who can fulfill a position, whatever position they fit in, and we try to upgrade them sort of and work on their skills and try to get them certifications or whatever and try to get them a job that pays double. So eventually our goal is to become the standard of what people use for social mobility, where if like college is not for you or if you don't have the political connections to pull off whatever you're trying to pull off, then this is a place you can go where at any level of education or skill and you can get a job and do stuff, and that could be your springboard into something else, and we become the standard of that eventually. All staffing agencies in education, job training, just rethinking the way that works, recycling people. So that's what we're doing with you. You know how to read a system, and you're a logical person, and you just know how to make things work. And I'm just going to show you the way I've been doing it, and then you can do it in your own way. So it's really not that hard. It's just that the day to day, people are going to be asking you for stuff. And if you can keep your cool, then everything's going to be fine. So this isn't for everybody, and that's why you get paid a little more than everybody else. But we'll talk about that too. But thanks for watching. This has been the interview or the introduction for the logistics manager. Hiring this person is going to be crucial to making this place work. Perhaps pre-interview, there should be a desk, and we'll have some sort of situation where there's like a system, but something is wrong. And if this person goes out of their way to fix that thing, or like, maybe like a puzzle, and if this person fixes the puzzle or gets it right or whatever, unlocks the thing, then we know this is a logical person. We need a logical person, but it's got to be a people person too at the same time. So that's why it's a really hard thing to fit with. But If everybody sticks to the rules, you shouldn't have to do anything. Now I'm repeating myself. So thanks for watching. Besides, remember, I'm just a janitor.